Okay. It's crazy. Okay. Hey, folks, it's Sherman Ray. And this is Living in Vegas podcast. Let's get this show going. All right. Hey, folks, this is Sherman Ray, and this is the Living in Vegas podcast. You ever think that something is just going to go bad, and you know it's going to go bad? Yeah, that's what happened this morning, folks. Um, I want to apologize for starting a little late. We had some technical difficulties. Every time we have an update by one of our social media platforms, we have a total meltdown. There's just absolutely no way. And many of you know, if you're a part of the Facebook family, that Facebook is doing everything it can to make sure that um, that your life is crazy. I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. I just don't. It's just craziness. So we tried to make sure we went on Facebook Live this morning, and of course everything just went to kapooty. That's my new word, kapooty. So thank you all for being a part of the show this morning. Though I'm Sherman Ray, I'm the publisher of Livin in Vegas podcast. I want to say hello to all the folks that we saw last night. Came out to the Santa Fe station and visited our booth out there. I mean, there was a lot of people. I mean, really were a lot of people out there. I want to thank you. And many of them said, hey, we've seen your show before. We get your text messages, we get your emails, we get all that stuff. And so I want to welcome you all to the show and thank you all for being, for making the special trip. You came over to our booth, and one lady for sure came over and she said, you know what? I get your stuff all the time. And for some reason I couldn't remember who you were. And she's, so we had a great conversation with her, which is really kind of fun. We talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. And I'm looking at Facebook again because I'm switching of the pages back and forth to the pages. And many of you know if you've got any pages on Facebook, Facebook is right now trying to change all those pages so that they're all separate profiles. And if you don't watch it, they're going to switch you, and you're just going to be crazy. It's just a crazy, crazy convoluted mess. And we are trying to right now, hopefully successfully, getting over to our new pages and without them switching all the pages. So if you see the show today, I'm you're lucky because Facebook has just changed everything. Oh, there I am. I'm on. Okay, um, we're going to talk today about probably the most exciting thing that's happened in Vegas in a long, long, long time. And I predicted it. And folks, and many of you don't doubt me, folks. Just don't doubt me on this one. I'm right, and you will find out. Well, let's go to it right now. So the Aces last night beat the Seattle Storm, folks. We beat them 97-92. I didn't even get to watch the game last night. I was at an event last night. Didn't get to watch the game. I missed church. I missed the game. Oh, but the Aces won, so I'm very excited about that they actually won the game. And so let's talk a little bit about it, folks. Well, no, let's do this. Let's pay a bill real quick. Then we'll come back. We'll talk about the game because I'm just beside myself. So excited about the Aces. So we'll be back just a second, folks, with a little bit more about living in Vegas, and we'll be back. Hi, everybody. It's Sherman Ray for Living in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. I'm reading. I'm reading the articles. Every major newspaper in Las Vegas, every major news outlet in Las Vegas was glued to this game. And so, what you want to do, folks? And I hate to pat myself on the back, but I'm gonna right now. Many of you know I've been an Aces fan for years. I mean, literally years. And I predicted way before the season even started, this would be the year that the Aces would win the title. And I've been consistent about that the entire time. I'm not a fair weather fan, just saying that the Aces were going to do this. I've been after the Aces since 2020. I've actually been a fan of theirs since 2018, when it was the first game I ever saw of theirs. And so this year, I predicted that they were going to win the title. We are in the title game now because we just won last night. We'll talk about that just in a second. But now every major news outlet, which has been kind of sporadic about their coverage of the Aces, kind of sporadic. I'm telling you, everybody should have been a Aces fan from the beginning. I love the Raiders. I love the Vegas Golden Knights. I love everybody. I love the UNLV Running Rebels. And you know this, folks. I'm a Rebel fan and I'm an Aces fan. The two teams, my two teams in Las Vegas, the Rebels number 1, the Aces number 2. Okay, so we do all the reporting on the Rebels. If you get our newsletter, you will always get something on the Rebels, whatever they're doing. Whether it's the girls, the volleyball, softball, track, whatever. Always been a Rebels fan, or the Aces. And today, it's no different. Let's go to the tape. So the Aces played against the Seattle Storm. They were in Seattle. This is the crazy thing about it. They took 2 of them at home from Seattle. We split in our series with them at home. So they won the first game. We won the second game. We went to Seattle and took 2. It's like you go into somebody's house and looking in the refrigerator and going, I'll have that. I'll have that. I'll have that. Oh, what the heck? Give me the whole thing. And that's what we did. Many people were upset because Sue Bird was retiring. And many of you know who Sue Bird is if you watch women's basketball, the WNBA. Sue Bird, who has been in the sport for, 40 years, whatever, is retiring this year. So people are going, oh, Sue Bird, give her a way to leave on a high note. Whatever. Let her have that on somebody else's dime, not on our Aces. So, game number 3. Yes, game 3 at Seattle, which was just Sunday. Sue Bird put the Seattle Storm up by 2 points with like 0.8 seconds to go in the game. And people are going, oh, see, that's Sue Bird. But at the same time, folks, I was already texting. And can I show it to you? I won't have time to show it to you now. I should have pulled this up. I wasn't thinking about this. But I texted because we follow the Aces all the time. Oh my gosh, people are blowing up my Twitter account here. They're going, where were you at? And I was busy last year. I texted during that game. There is a reason why the number 1 seed is the number 1 seed. What I meant by that was we're not number 1 for just because they like to put number 1 behind somebody's name. We're number 1 because we don't give up. Because we have Becky Hammond as our coach. Because we have Asia Wilson. Because we have Chelsea Gray. We have Kelsey Plum. We've got, Dearica Hamby. We've got all these players who don't quit. They just are not going to quit. 0.8 seconds might as well be 7 years in basketball terms. Okay? Because what happened? Yes, the ball was inbounded. We scored, tied the game, took it to overtime, and then ran away with it in overtime. Okay, shift to game number 4. Chelsea Gray, who is my girl. If Chelsea Gray came in here right now, I'd kiss her on the lips. I've been predicting that she needs to get 30 points. Okay, of all of the Aces, Chelsea Gray is the only one of our team who has a championship ring on her finger. And she is, and She was the only one, it seemed like, in the whole team who didn't got invited to the All-Star game. Okay? They had Kelsey Plum, Asia was there, Derek Hamby, everybody and their mama was there. I think the water boy was there too. And it's not that I'm not saying anything bad about the Aces or any of the people who were actually picked to be on the All-Star team, because they all deserved it. But Chelsea Gray, they call her the point god, GAWWWWWD. Okay, that's her Twitter handle. The point god. She deserved to be on that All-Star team, and she was a little upset about it. Deservedly so. So she put an exclamation point on the game. Here's what they said about Chelsea Gray, and then we'll move on to something else, because I know some of you are just like, but this was so exciting. Great. They said Chelsea Gray was simply too good. Okay, they didn't say Kelsey Plum. They didn't say Asia Wilson. They didn't say anybody else, okay? Chelsea Gray was just too good, simply too good. Sending the Las Vegas Aces to the WNBA Finals, and in the process brought an end, they spelled that wrong, an end to Sue Bird, her illustrious career. Gray scored 15 of her 31 points. I told you she needed to get those points in the fourth quarter. And the Aces advanced to the WNBA Finals 97-92. The win over the Seattle Storm, Game 4, Tuesday night. So very exciting. Just so excited. I am. And I love all the girls. I really do. There's not one of the girls that I don't love. So don't get me wrong, guys. I love you all. Did Brianna Stewart scored 42, which means nobody else scored anything on their team. Yeah, nobody else scored. So, sorry. Okay, let's go on to another story, and then we'll take a short break. Hey, let's talk about the housing prices here in Vegas. Okay. I didn't say something. I got so excited. Let's talk about Livin in Vegas magazine. I am so sorry. I was just so excited about this game. For those of you who may not know who I am, I'm the publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine. Okay. Oh, sorry. Other way. Livin in Vegas magazine. Definitely go to our website. Check that out. Got to check that out. Matter of fact, many of you who met us last night over at the Santa Fe station were saying, hey, we had no idea that you guys talked about so much stuff in Las Vegas. And I said, yeah, we do. We talk about all kinds of stuff in Vegas, and you definitely want to check it out. Also, we put out Livin Weekly magazine. This is the current edition of Livin Weekly magazine, and I don't have the covers of all of the magazines, but some people ask, what's the difference between Livin in Vegas magazine or Livin Weekly magazine, either one of those, and all the other stuff that's out there? Well, the other stuff that's out there does not focus on Las Vegas. They might focus on the Strip, but not on Las Vegas. We focus on Las Vegas, and that's it. Really do. And so if you want to talk about the people, the places, the trends, the events, this is where you want to be at. And as a matter of fact, I met a young lady last night. Her name was, I'm going to say Sabrina. But she does social media, and I was talking to her and her grandma, or her mom, about some of the things, sights, and the scenes that are in Las Vegas. And I mentioned Gilcrease Farms. Excuse me. And many of you know about Gilcrease Farms over off Tenaya. They had never heard of it before. And they've been here a long time. And their mouths just, oh my gosh, that's where we got to go. Where do we go? So we're going to send a note out to folks. I will actually mention that in our newsletter today. Okay, so I think it really needs to be, because a lot of people want to know about that. And if you went to the event last night, we'll add you to our newsletter, and you'll get some of this information too. So check it out. Check it all out on our website at livininvegas.com. And if you miss anything today, folks, don't worry. We're going to actually put it all in our newsletter, it'll be on our website, and you can check it out at livininvegas.com. So livininvegas.com. So, let's talk about some home prices. Many of you know that the Great Recession of 2022, and yes, we're probably in a recession, has done crazy things with our economy here nationally and locally. Locally, prices are through the roof. If you've gone to buy gas anytime lately, you know it is just like, really? It's just murder. Prices have gone down, but they're still like $2 more than what you were paying a year ago. Home prices at that same time have gone exponentially through the roof. Home rental prices, once again, just through the roof. Well, now that inflation is probably at the peak, we hope, the uh, and gas prices are going down a little bit. Not a lot, but they're going down a little bit. Home prices, excuse me. Home prices since July. So July, August, September, 3 months, dropped $15,000. Yeah, $15,000, folks. That the home prices have gone down 15 grand. That's a lot. Article. This one comes from. Where does it come from? This is coming from Channel 8. It says home prices dropped by $15,000 in 1 month in the Las Vegas Valley, continuing a trend that started in June. In that time, the median home price of a single-family home tumbled 6.6% from its peak at $482,000 at the end of May. Okay. The price is now $450,000, which is still huge, according to a report released by the Las Vegas Realtors Association. Townhomes. We have dropped from $285,000 to $261,000, according to the same reporting agency. Price is down by 7%. I think what you're going to find also is that rental prices are going to start coming back down too, which is great for business owners. Not so great for people who actually signed a lease prior to this time, but for people who are just getting into the market now, and it'll probably continue to slide. It'll probably continue to slide for a while, which is a good thing because a lot of people have been priced out of the market here in Las Vegas. I'm going to bring this a little closer to me. Actually, I'm going to put another microphone on here in a little bit. You'll see a different one here probably Friday. A lot of people have been priced out of the market, and that brings us to another article. Clark County commissioners approved nearly $120 million in federal funding Tuesday that will create or rehabilitate about 3,100 units in efforts to address the affordable housing crisis. This article is actually from the Nevada Current. And if you miss this, folks, don't worry about it. Just go to our website and you'll be able to check us out. We'll put this up on our website here in a little bit. Many of the projects are aimed at housing for renters who earn about 50 to 60% of the area median income, which Deputy County Manager Kevin Schiller said is between $28,000 to $49,000. So it looks like what they're trying to do is they're trying to create, some more affordable housing here in the valley, which is, it's, it would be great for Las Vegas, and many of you know this. I really try to watch the economic stuff. Is if you bring gas prices down, okay, you just keep bringing those gas prices down, allow America to, pump and do what we do best, all these prices will go down. They will, and people will make more money because prices have gone down. People will be able to hire more, that kind of stuff. So, very interesting stuff. So, let's pay one more bill, folks. One more bill. We'll be back in just a second for a little bit more of Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about people, places, trends, and events that shape the city of Las Vegas. Hi, everybody. It's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye bye. All right. Hey, and we're back, folks. I did not say hello to all of our friends on Facebook either. I just didn't. And I forgot to do one more important thing. Really important. Is I want to wish my lovely bride, Linda, happy birthday. Yes, it's my wife's birthday today. Don't worry, folks. We celebrated it last week, all last week. She was off all last week. And we went out to Boulder City and hung out with some of our friends out there. Just what a fantastic time. And I told you all about it when we came back on Friday. So, but my lovely bride is all of 29. That's right. I married a younger woman, and I ain't ashamed of it. Because she's hot, right? So I want to wish her a happy birthday today, and can't wait to see her again this afternoon. So want to say hello to all of our friends on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, you're watching us. You're watching us on YouTube, folks. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Really, don't even. We might just focus only on YouTube just to build up our YouTube, because we got a great following on Facebook, but really want to build up that YouTube following, because we can do so many cool things on YouTube. But we've got to just get more people's up there. So I encourage you, if you're on Facebook, go to our YouTube channel. We'll leave a link to this, and you can go to our YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it on here on Facebook here in just a second. I'll leave a link to it, because I'm not going to take the time to do it right now, but I'll leave a link to our YouTube channel. Go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to it. Okay, just subscribe to it, and we want to get up to about 1,000 people on that. It'd be great. And so just want to say hello to all of our friends who are on Facebook. Over there looking right now, and don't hesitate in saying something if you want to say hi. That'd be great. Love to have you on the show and say hello to you. And once again, sorry, a little late on getting the show up and running today. All right, so it looks like got quite a few people watching us today. Very nice. So before we leave, let's talk about something really serious, very serious nature, as a matter of fact. They found 56 pounds of fentanyl were seized on US 93 following a traffic stop. Okay, this story comes out of Channel 13 News. It says, according to a press release, Nevada State Police and Highway Patrol troopers initiated a traffic stop, mile marker 75, White Pine County, for an equipment violation. So probably tail light or whatever it was. After initiating the stop, the trooper noticed the signs of criminal activity, searched the car with the driver's consent. What did they find? Roughly 56 pounds of fentanyl worth about $3.6 million. Oh my gosh. The driver was arrested, charged. Didn't they flog him at that point? All right, so I don't know how much 56 pounds of fentanyl will kill. It's probably more than the state of Nevada, though. I would assume that there's more, and I hate to even go out on a limb and say this, 56 pounds, it only takes like that much to kill you. And they found 56 pounds. There's only 3 million of us in the entire state. So bravo to the Highway Patrol. Thank you so much for doing your job. And we'll leave a link to this story too. And I'll tell you, folks, this is a time when you want to take your hats off to the Highway Patrol and be vigilant, okay? Be very vigilant. We want to protect our way of life here in Nevada. We want to protect our citizens, all the people who come here. We don't want anybody dying because there's some knuckleheads bringing in some, stuff from down south of the border that is illegal, and it's going to kill people. Okay, come here, drink, watch a show, dance, have a great time, go back home. Okay, that's really what it's all about. Have a great time while you're here, and don't overdo it. Okay, just have fun. Have fun while you're here. You only go around once in life. Have a great time while you're here, and then go home and live to, do it another day. Okay. Anyways, once again, folks, I want to apologize for the late start we got. It was only a couple minutes late, but I hate to be late anytime. And looks like people are sending me notes. So we will see you again tomorrow, Friday, for Living in Vegas podcast. It's been Sherman Ray. Thank you so much for being a part of the show, folks. We will see you again tomorrow, where we'll talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. When you think of living in Vegas, folks, think living local and the return of cool. Okay, the coolness factor right there, Sammy. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow, or it's Friday. Bye bye.